All right, everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Crypto Takeover coming back with another video again for y'all this evening. And on today's video, we're going to be going over the Bitcoin charts again today, see whether or not we've broken some support or are we going back to the upside. I know the the Federal Reserve has just announced that we have had an agreement on a $6 trillion package plan, basically a bailout plan just because of the coronavirus. So that indicates to me that Bitcoin, given its circumstances and there's only a limited supply, that this could be a bullish predicament for Bitcoin. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what's happening in the market. Are we going to end up pumping because of this, or is this just going to be another indication of a sell-off for big institutions to get out for one last chance? So if y'all want to tune in, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so that way y'all can be updated every single video that I make every single day going over the Bitcoin charts. And with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to be taking a look at a few different charts here. Actually, we're going to take a look at the coronavirus chart, that virus that shall not be mentioned chart, to see exactly what's happening here. So yesterday we had just hit 400,000 confirmed cases here. So now we're at 450,000 confirmed cases. US is still in third place right now, but slowly creeping up on Italy. So we are definitely still in a parabolic trend. No confirmed bell curve just yet. I was looking over the charts on the coronavirus, or on the that virus that shall not be named. Sorry, YouTube, do not flag me in this video. I'm just giving the facts, that's all. So with the charts there, we're still not at a round curved just yet, but it does look like we will still continue this parabolic uptrend. I updated my Telegram group to show them a few charts that I'm looking at, because TradingView also has the CD19 charts as well. So I keep those on my radar just to take a look at every once in a while to see who's rounding off, if we're rounding off, China's rounding off. And so I know that China had announced that they were starting to round off just a tad bit in their confirmed total, but from the looks of it, this is not a round bell curve at all. Now we're just continuing to go up. So I would imagine that, Market Cypher's telling us that we might put in a red dot sooner or later, but it looks like this is just out of control right now. It's out of the people's hands. It's out of government's hands. We honestly I don't feel like there's a way to contain this necessarily right now. So we're doing the most that we can by just bunkering down and trading Bitcoin. So, but honestly, this is the perfect time to learn how to harness your risk and reward management, and to learn a little bit more about trading as well. So I do have a Patreon page that y'all can join. I called a play yesterday right about here. We had this bounce off of this trend line support here, this parabolic trend line, and I called along here in my trading group, and then I sold right up here. It was probably about a 75% gain from down here to here. So if you stayed up with me then and got in on that play, congrats to you. So as soon as the stock market opened up and we got an announcement that the stimulus package was passed, we then had a big major sell-off happen after that. So the stimulus package did get passed, but I have a feeling that it's still not. It was just kind of a implication for stockbrokers to go ahead and sell all their holdings off still. So sorry about the noise in the background. I have some neighbors that don't know how to keep their dog on leashes and stuff too. So but yeah, it's just gonna be, this is probably one last sell-off that we could expect from the stock markets, and people just panic selling and trying to get out of the markets as well. That's what we saw here. We did have a nice little pump in the S&P 500, but I'm curious to see what it is doing right now too as well. So let's just take a look at that and go with what that's saying too. So we did have a nice run up here. It looks like we are trying to recover just a tad bit, but honestly this feels more or less like a pump and dump scheme. for last minute holders to get out of the stock market, with some insider trading going on probably. Yeah, and we can kind of take a look. I'm curious to see what the 4-hour looks like. Still really heavy money flow here on our S&P 500 as well. And going into our daily and our 21 as well. But I would say our 12-hour and from our 6-hour up is still pretty heavily into the red money flow there. So we could probably see some sell-offs to still occur as well. So let's go back to Bitcoin real quick. We'll take a look at the charts here. So we did have our nice little dump off of the stimulus package being passed. So it did look like it got kind of bullish, and then we had a nice little dumpage here. That happened, probably seeing some resistance at about that 7K area. So now the question is, are we going to continue to retest 7K, or are we just heading back down from here? That's the question that I think is on everyone's mind. As we know, as long as you're staying safe out there, we can see what's happening. So even on our 30-minute, we're starting to have this money flow that's rounding off. I was going based on our 15-minute money flow to call this play back here. But as you can see, that money flow even on our 30-minute is still looking kind of scary, rounding off just a tad bit. So we could expect maybe some more dumpage action to happen. Even on our 45-minute, have a blood diamond here with money flow also rounding to the downside. So indicating that we might be in a good position for to see some lower numbers. Let's go into our 1 hour and then maybe tell by some of our EMAs what some of our key indicators might presume for us. We do have a green dot here on our 1 hour, so that's kind of interesting. I would imagine that we'll probably see some Christmas colors here, maybe another red dot to send us back to the downside. Money flow is kind of moving into that upward trajectory right now, though, so we might see a squeeze. Actually, I would then, if I can't really tell what money flow is giving me, then I'll look at the EMAs and I'll decide, okay, where is the squeeze going to happen at? Where based on where our support and resistances are we going to get a squeeze to the upside or downside? And then I'll use the cipher B to determine whether it's going to be up or down. So I would say our squeeze would probably happen between our 50 EMA and maybe our 13 or 21 EMA. So we are currently at support or resistance for the VWAP too as well. Bears opened up here. We kind of had some bullish movement whenever we first opened our daily candle. We had this retest on this parabolic trend line support, and then came back up here, and now it looks like the bears want to take control of the market, currently finding the VWAP as resistance for us. So we're still looking at our 1 hour here, and we can see that we'll probably get this squeeze probably between our VWAP and our 50 EMA. So we could try and come back up and get support above our 21 EMA, but I think that our squeeze will happen between our 50 and our VWAP here as well. Oh, I don't even have those open yet, so let me go ahead and open them so that way we can just make sure that we're all on the same page here. Yes. All right, so I do have I have a newsletter that I send out periodically, and basically I'll send out the newsletter every other week or so, just to keep y'all up to date with what's going on with me. Also, I give some free content in there away as well. Usually it's stuff that I give my Patreon members weeks beforehand, and then I'll just send it over to my newsletter subscribers as well. So make sure that you're signed up for that to know what's going on, to keep up to date with me. If you're not a Patreon member, it's a good way to still sometimes get some of those private videos that I send my Patreon members as well. So I plan on releasing another newsletter here within the next couple of days. I'll probably go over some TradingView tips and tricks that y'all can follow as well. And then also I do giveaways every once in a while, so feel free to get signed up for that and get qualified for the next giveaway by being signed up for it. I do have the Patreon page that y'all can join as well. I only have 3 spots remaining right now in this tier, so once y'all join up, link me your Discord name and make sure that you join the Discord server, so that way you can get access to our private group as well, and then you'll get access to all the Patreon posts that I have in there as well too. My 2 favorite altcoins, how to set up some key indicators in TradingView that are custom indicators that use their actually use their own code as well. You'll get access to all those too. And we're just here to help too. So me, myself, and also the team that you'll be a part of, we're all here to help, even for beginners. I've created a new channel specifically for beginners to learn a little bit more about trading, books to study as well. So feel free to come over and subscribe to the Patreon page. Only 3 spots left right now for that tier. And then y'all can join the Discord group. We just share news articles and stuff in there. We have some group discussion going on. But to access the private channel, you're going to need to be a member of the Patreon page as well. And then also, you can join the Telegram group, which is also free. I've updated them yesterday about the charts with the CV19 and where the bell curve, I think, could possibly end up going to. I honestly think that we could hit 1 million by the end of March with confirmed cases. So that's going to be kind of scary, but make sure you have your N95 mask. Make sure that if you are in public or at stores or something like that, that you are wearing it. And I think that's just to take extra precaution, because we really don't know. There's a lot of hearsay about what this actually is. Is this a PSYOP? Is it, is it chemtrails? How is it contaminated? Because people are obviously getting it that haven't even been traveling or been around people that have been traveling. So, just to take extra precaution, if this is actually a bioweapon, then you need to be out protecting yourself, wearing your gloves or whatever, even if you look ridiculous doing it. I've been out and about here the past couple of days, and I've seen people with their N95 masks on, and no shame. It really is no shame. Just doing what you can do to protect yourself, basically, right? And protect your family and your household, right? So here on our 2 hour, we're also getting the we're having our cipher be blue wave kind of round off just a tad bit too, so indicating we could have some more downside potential here. Money flow is also kind of rounding off to the bottom here. We've had this money flow kind of rounding off for a minute now, and now I finally feel that it could be a little bit more bearish, just because we never really got past our last previous high, which was at about 7,100, 7,200, and we're just putting in a lower high right now. So this is kind of an implication. We broke a parabolic trendline support as well. So I'm not going to predicament that, or leave that on the charts, but we do have another trendline support, which is an ascending trend line that I've been keeping a close eye on here, all the way back from our bottom at that about 4K area, or that 3,800 area. And what I want to see is probably, I know some people are calling this an ascending channel too, or a bear flag. So I could see that for sure, that this could somehow be somewhat of a bear flag, and we could draw it out. But I couldn't figure out how they were drawing it, to be honest. I saw it more or less just a channel that has an ascending resistance or support line on it. And if we break the support line, which is at about 6,300 or so, then I'll definitely be a little bit more of a bear for us. So, but on the 15-minute, I like to just draw some time frames, draw some trend lines. It's a little bit easier to determine where the break might happen, know when to take profit exactly. So yeah, so we can see on our 2 hour, we're still trending above our 21. Still kind of bullish, but based on our cipher B pattern here, I would expect that we're going to come back down below our 21 on our 2 hour as well. And then we go into our 4 hour. 4 hours still have some nice trend line above our 13 EMA right now. We did get above our 200 or our 100 EMA, but we're having some nice little dojis here. The market is really just undecided about where exactly it wants to go, whether or not it wants to be bullish off of the stimulus package or not. Honestly, I feel that there's still not a safe haven. There is a decoupling process happening right now in Bitcoin, but I feel that it's still not the decoupling that we want it to see, and it'll probably take a little bit longer to play out. But I would say we could come back down here and test this support for sure, and then decide what's going to happen here. So yeah, let's take a look. That's our 4 hour here. We have our 200 EMA that's right up here too. And our money flow just now started moving into the green. So we're gonna have to see. I mean, 7,200 probably not out of the question just yet, But I feel like this is still just rounding off just a tad bit to where we could start to see some momentum to the downside for sure. So we just need to take that into consideration. Let's go into our 6 hours, see what's happening. Money flow is still in the red here. It does look like it's kind of rounding off just a tad bit. A little bit of a bearish divergence also happening. This bearish divergence could end up playing out for the most part, so we'll just keep an eye on it and see. But also finding resistance at our 100 EMA, maybe getting a squeeze between our 13 and our 100 here as well. Then going into our 8 hour. Also some bearish signs for us there as well on our 8 hour. Honestly, I feel like this is just very sideways choppy action right now. If I was to trade this, I'd probably go based on our 15-minute and just go from there. This is one time frame that I really like to scalp from is our 15-minute, and just keeping an eye on the money flow and deciding what direction it's going to go in. So I feel like this is very sideways choppy movement right now. We aren't for sure whether or not we are going to be starting a mini bull run or not just yet. I think market is still trying to decide what it wants to do. So we'll just kind of wait it out and see. Maybe we can get in some nice scalps and go from there. But I feel like this is definitely a zone that either it's no trading zone or just a quick scalp zone for sure. Nothing that I want to stay in for too long. And then on our 12 hour here, we're still seeing some kind of roundish top area. Money flow still in the red for the most part. I do want to put on our whales by sell signal, see what's happening here. Let's see. I want to go back to our 4 hour, getting some sells here. So 2 hour, all the way up to our 4 hour, 6 hour, no 6 hour sell just yet. I would imagine that's coming pretty soon though. We had our 21 buy signal for us, our 12 hour buy signal for us back then, 21 hour buy signal as well. I'm not sure why I think that was one of my ins or outs of the market. So 21 hour buy signal also here, indicating that, the run up could have occurred, but honestly, this was probably, I don't want to feel too bullish on this call just yet. So I'll probably just wait to see whether or not we're going to start to round here. But this is on our 21 hour and then our 12 hour also, finding some resistance at our 50 EMA as well, maybe getting a nice little squeeze here between our 50 and our 100 to decide where the breakout will happen. So, but based on what I'm seeing right now is market is still just really undecided for the most part. Looking at our 1 day here, we did want to start to move up, and this is why I was kind of bullish for the most part too, which is why I still feel a little bit bullish, but this is pretty sideways for me to know exactly that our money flow is going to be coming up really, really high. I mean, we could find some rejection once we get, putting in maybe like our money flow coming right about here or something, and then having a trigger wave for our Cypher B blue waves as well. Taking a look at our 2 day, we did have that buy signal back here when we went up to 7,200, but honestly, unless you got down here back when it started retracing, then you probably wouldn't have made a lot of money. Like, because let's say you started to long from 7K. Well, we had a retracement all the way back down to like 6,500, so it would have taken a while for you to even maybe get out at that break-even point, but that's why some of these buy-sell signals can be a little bit off sometimes. So we just have to play proper risk management if you are trading these for sure. And then our 3 day, we also have a nice little buy signal here, some rounded off blue waves. But money flow is still heavily into the red right now too as well. I do want to see what's going on here. So we have this nice little rounded curve here too. Could be a little bullish for us, but I just honestly feel like our time frames are just not lining up properly. And I had to tell my group this the other day, but like if I feel that there's a no trade zone for me, that's what I'm going to go with. Y'all can pretty much just do whatever you want. But if I feel that it's a no trade zone for me, then I'm just going to stick with that. So you can see on our 3 day, our money flow is starting to round off just a tad bit, indicating that we could have some bullish signs. And then our 5 day just like not giving us any clear direction at all right now. So 5 days is still really bearish for the most part. And I guess we kind of just have to go with that, knowing that we're going to have some resistance probably at that 7K, mid 7K area, more or less. Ooh, now our 6-day is giving us a buy signal. That is just crazy. Don't understand these guys. Okay. So our 6 days giving us a buy signal. Very interesting, to say the least. So that we didn't get a buy signal on our 5-day, but we're getting a buy signal on our 6-day. Probably because our money flow is still in the red here, indicating that we're still getting some, I would say that this is pretty heavy selling volume for the most part. So I would imagine that this is just a last pump, before market wants to sell off a little bit more. But we're going to have to really just kind of keep an eye on everything, see what's happening, and then go from there. Our weekly, still Heikinashis are extremely into the red right now also. So, yeah. Let me go ahead and finish up here. I'm using the TradingView premium plan right now. I do plan to send out a newsletter on how to get these plans for 50% off. But I will be giving that to my newsletter subscribers. So go ahead and get signed up if y'all are interested in learning how I got 50% off of this prices here. But right now I'm using the premium plan. If y'all do want to upgrade, use the link in the description box, and feel free to get signed up. If you're using Market Cypher, I'd recommend at least using the Pro Plus plan. It allows you to have 5 indicators on the screen. So it's definitely the way to go. And then also 3 commas. I've been doing some back testing with some bots here using my custom Wells buy sell signal also, and so far it's been doing really well. It's my last I want to say 4 trades on here have been in profit, so doing really well. I'm doing some back testing on the testnet, on Bybit's testnet with it, and I'm using the Pro plan. So you get the first 3 days for free, and then you have to pay for it after that. But I would go ahead and get signed up. I think right now, if you use the link in the description box, you get 50% off of the Pro plan if you use that link. So go ahead and check it out. Use the link down in the description box if you're interested in creating your own bot using 3 commas. Link in the description box. And then if y'all are just a buying and hodling kind of person, I'd recommend buying a Ledger Nano X or S. If you buy a Ledger Nano X right now, I think Ledger is giving away a free Ledger Nano S. So use that link in the description box as well. Bybit, we use Bybit on our channel and also on our premium trading group. Most of us use Bybit on there. It's just the platform that I'm used to, but if you are first getting signed up for it, or if you're first learning how to leverage trade, please get signed up for it, but use chat and ask them how to access the testnet. It's like a 2-step process. It'll allow you to make sure that you have a good algorithm down when you're trading and that you're using proper risk management as well. So check that out, get signed up for the testnet, start trading fake BTC first, and then you can deposit your real BTC. And then also Prime XBT, if you are a USA citizen, you can leverage trade on Prime XBT using Bitcoin. You can trade gold and silver, S&P 500, fiat currencies as well, all using Bitcoin. So check it out. Super helpful way, especially if you're just sat at home sitting around. I would encourage you to at least start learning a little bit about trading, and you can start doing that by also just joining our Patreon page as well. And then Brave Browser is a way that I browse the web, and I get paid in BAT token every single month. So I get paid out in BAT token every single month by clicking ads in the bottom right hand corner. It's not your annoying Google ads necessarily, they're Brave content ads. And it's kind of a basic way to earn passive income. So same people made Mozilla Firefox also made this browser. It is the browser of the future for sure. And then if you are wanting to learn, or if you're wanting to make a little bit more passive income, you can use CryptoTab browser. It allows you to start mining Bitcoin straight from your web browser. So I have it running on 2 other laptops right now just as a background process. You can also download the app on your phone or tablet and also just have it running as a background process on there when you're not using it. So if you want to earn passive income and not have to set up ASIC or ant miners, that is the way to go. So we're going to take a look at our weekly here. Weekly time frame also still pretty bearish, or for the most part with the Heikinashii candles at least. We are starting to see somewhat of a rounded curve bottom here, but still nothing quite bullish just yet. I still have a feeling that market sell-offs are going to be occurring, and that we are still headed for a little bit more of a downtrend for the most part. So taking a look at our 2-week here, blood diamonds are still playing out. Money flow is moving into the red right now for the most part. So pretty scary stuff, but I hope everyone's staying safe out there. And yeah, we'll finish it off with our 21-day and then our monthly. 21-day, still about the same. Breaking key EMA resistance points as well. Bitcoin not giving a F about anything, you know. And then our monthly time frame, we can find our support down here at our 100 EMA on our monthly is about 2,700. It's a possibility. It's still a possibility, so I'm not going to keep it out of the realms of possibilities just yet. But I hope that y'all are doing okay. I hope that y'all are having a great day. I hope that y'all are staying safe. Y'all have everything that y'all need out there to survive. I know a lot of people have been messaging me, telling me that they're having some trouble right now, just deciding whether or not how they want to do this with their people losing jobs and everything like that too. So make sure that you're learning a skill of trade right now, and that you can survive still learning some type of trade or something to keep you knowledgeable and keep some type of income flowing as well. So if y'all are interested, like I said, there's only 3 spots left in the Patreon page as well. Feel free to join us, get signed up. We'll teach you everything that we know about how to trade these markets. So with that being said, y'all, thanks for tuning in. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell. CTO signing out.